Hello everybody, here working on this Hornbeam Raft again. As you can see, it has been growing very well. At this point, because I've been turning it to face the sun on a regular basis, I've got to the point where I'm not even sure which is the front and which is the back anymore. It doesn't really matter though, because that can change as your design progresses. Sometimes a new front will present itself for one reason or another. It may be that you have a bit of dieback and a branch has to be cut away because it's dead. It changes the design. Sometimes you just see it differently. Sometimes you just have a different idea. I think this was the front. I'm not entirely sure. First things first, let's get rid of this weed. It's been growing away merrily. Right, now then, what I'm going to do is just cut back these long side shoots at the moment that are stopping me seeing the design. I don't know whether this is front or back. If it's the front, this branch is badly placed because it's coming straight towards me. If it's the back, not so bad because it gives a bit of depth and perception. Perception, that's not the word, perspective, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm going to cut it part way back. Similarly with this one. I think what I'm just going to have to do is just cut away until I can see some of the structure inside. Soil's looking very dry, which isn't surprising really. It's quite hard to get the water to penetrate this little jungle here. I'm looking at this particular, there's definitely a trunk in there somewhere, and I'm thinking that that might be a better trunk line than that. So I'm actually going to chop that back hard to there. Okay. To leave that. Beginning to see a little bit of the structure now. And we have the trunk in there. I'm going to prune that too. There. Okay. And we have another trunk here. It seems to have lost its apex, so we'll cut it back. I remember this was the original front. I wired that branch up, I believe. Anyway, continue round, just cutting back. Trying to get into the inside. Now this particular branch here, it's growing from an inside curve for a start, but also shooting off to nowhere, so I'm going to remove that. right in close. Continue around. Just trying to get back to a bit of structure. Now all this extra growth will have helped this tree build some strength and resilience for this hard cut back. It's not always a good idea to cut back quite so hard straight away, but where are we? The middle of June. It's been growing well, so I feel happy that I can get away with this. Beginning to see structure and shape again. Now this will encourage some back budding, and it will probably not grow in exactly the direction I will want, and the tree will need another prune at some point. I may not get another one this growing season. It may be that it won't get another trim until it is dormant, and I can then remove any leaves that stay on the tree and actually see clearly what it is I'm dealing with. And that's quite often a good way to deal with a deciduous tree. You can work on it. The tree's dormant, it's not going to bleed sap everywhere. Not that hornbeams are particularly sappy trees, but some trees don't do too well if you prune them hard during the initial part of the growing season. They can bleed quite profusely, which will weaken the tree. Okay, so that's most of the side branches cut back. I now need to consider the trunk lines if I can. It's not easy with this tree. It's very congested at the moment. As I say, I believe this was the front. Yeah, I'm fairly certain this was the front. This side is the front. So I'm going to wire cutters. There we are. I'm going to remove this eye pokey branch. Seem to have had a bit of dieback in there with that trunk. I don't know how well that's showing up on camera, but it's a good job I get in there because I can now allow this shoot to grow upwards and take on a new leader role there. Okay. This tree I'm going to take off just here. That is also a trunk. I'm tempted to just leave that for the moment and let that grow up through. It's quite spindly. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one. This one, however, I'm going to take off quite low down. There. Okay, so I'm going to leave these two leaders to help fatten up, thicken up. I'll shorten that slightly. Don't like that branch going back into the trunk there, not into the centre of the tree there. It's also cutting off a lot of light to this particular tree, which, as you can see, hopefully you can see, this was the original leader, died back, probably because it was too shaded out by some of these others. Take that off, and hopefully this trimming will allow that to take off up through there, come up through the middle. We shall see. Maybe that'll end up reducing the number of trunks on this tree eventually anyway. Can have too much of a good thing. Okay, well that's probably enough for today. That's definitely going to allow me to give this tree some water a bit easier. Okay, that's where I'm going to end it. Yeah. Thank you for watching. One more. Always one more. There we go. That's it. Thank you for watching.